Welcome along to a very special Pixiecast today. And I am heading over to America, and I'm in 3 different states of America because today we are celebrating Thanksgiving. And I'm delighted that I'm being joined by 3 people who have already done their own individual Pixiecasts. They are Jen Bonoski, Mike, and the lovely Sheila, his wife, has joined us as well. And of course, the ever-smiling Meg as well. So, and giggling, there you are, Meg. There we are. Lovely to see you smiling and laughing, which is how we always like to see you. So we're going to be talking about Thanksgiving, and I know absolutely nothing about Thanksgiving because we don't celebrate it in the UK. But first of all, my 3 guests are going to introduce themselves, and we're going to start off with Jen. Hi, Jen.
Hey, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Awesome. It's fantastic. I'm good, and it's good to see everybody.
And remind us where you're from, Jen.
I am in Missoula, Montana, and I've been here for 24 years now.
Okay. And that's up in the north of the US, isn't it?
Yeah. But we're not quite, I don't think considered Pacific Northwest, but we're up in the northwestern part of the States.
And it's getting a bit cold at the moment, you were saying?
It is, yeah. We had 13 inches of snow last weekend, and it dipped down below 0, and then it all melted, and we're up to like 50 degrees now today. So it's a nice fall day.
And sitting there below you is the lovely Sheila and Mike. You're not going to be getting any snow by the looks of it for a little while yet, if
no
at all.
Snow ever. It snowed the day we were married in 1989, and I think it snowed one time since then. So, yeah, we don't have those problems.
So,
Happy Thanksgiving, Andrew.
Where are you anyway? Tell us where you are.
We're in Soda, Texas, and we don't call them sodas in Texas. We call them Cokes, but we live in Soda, Texas.
Soda's Texas. Okay. And near Houston, yeah?
Yeah, it's about an hour and a half north of Houston.
Uh-huh. Okay, lovely. And to your left, to my right or below me is the lovely Meg. Hi, Meg. How are you?
Great. How are you?
Very well, thank you. And remind us where you are, Meg.
I'm in Virginia Beach, Virginia, on the southeastern coast of the U.S.
Okay, so we've got quite a good spread then geographically, which is good. So as I said at the start, I know nothing or very little about Thanksgiving. So Jen, you can start me off. Tell me all about Thanksgiving.
So Thanksgiving for my family has always been a time for all the family to get together. So when I was a kid, my mom and dad and grandfather and grandmother and my aunt and uncle and the 2 cousins would all get together. And it was just all of us getting together, and people would bring different dishes. And then we would congregate at one of the family members' house, and everybody would hang out all day and watch movies and eat a lot. So typically it was like you'd get together and start cooking in the morning and then probably eat in the afternoon. And it was just this kind of smorgasbord of food all day long. So certainly in my family, it was just this gluttonous holiday where you ate yourself literally sick. And
nice.
It remains to be that, and even now, we have a really small family. It's just my husband and I and our 3 sons. And my daughter Emma lives in Bozeman, so she'll typically come home. This year, of course, it's going to be a little bit different with COVID, but it's just a time to get together with family and eat a ton of food.
Sure. So what kind of things will you be eating on Thanksgiving then?
We do a turkey, so that's kind of the traditional, at least in our family, was the traditional main dish. So we have a giant turkey that's roasted, and then a bunch of sides. So like mashed potatoes and gravy and hot rolls and pies, usually like a pumpkin pie and a pecan pie. My grandmother used to make all kinds of pies. So we'd have like a lemon meringue pie and maybe an apple pie. So depending on the year, there's definitely pies involved. And then there's stuffing. So on your tray, or on your plate, you've got turkey, mashed potatoes and gravy, usually a side like corn or corn on the cob or green bean casserole. And then, what am I forgetting? Oh, stuffing. Definitely stuffing. Yeah, so lots of bread.
Okay, cool. And Mike and Sheila, does that sound familiar to you?
Well, I think Sheila growing up, their family had a little bit different traditions. But I think, for her time with her grandmother's passed, but it usually revolves around a matriarch who holds all the secrets to the dressing. We call it dressing. Other places call it stuffing.
Yeah.
Okay.
We called it dressing in the Midwest too. Yeah. Then it became stuffing.
Okay.
Well, and it depends on what it's made out of too, because there's a bread, like white bread, and then there's like a cornbread. So we're not really a cornbread kind of people, but my family didn't do turkey as much.
Really?
They did roast.
Yeah.
Okay. So what would that be then, Sheila?
So I mean, basically, it would just be all the brothers and sisters of my grandmother's family, and we would all meet up on a Sunday. We wouldn't do it on Thanksgiving because that was always the mother. It would go to the mom's side of the family on Thanksgiving, but on mom's dad's would be on Sunday or on the weekend sometimes. So we would do big roast. There might be a little turkey, but it's not going to be anything big. Mike's is completely different, and he'll have to tell you about the green stuff.
Yeah. In my family, it's always been a big deal, and that's really every year. That's when I'm sorry, my left ear is good. This ear is going away.
Is that because is that the one that Sheila shouts into? Is it?
This one's 47. This ear is like 73. But yeah, with our family, it was always a time, especially for my immediate family, for us to, I don't know, Sheila always calls it recharging, because we miss each other all year long. And then my family, we jive. I've got 2 sisters and my dad. My mom passed a long time ago, but we're very tight. And our sons are kind of cut from the same cloth. So the family keeps growing, and we just love to spend that time with one another. But my mom comes from a Cajun family. My Nana is a Kibido. She's from Mermentau, Louisiana, so real close to the coast. But they cook so well, so everything is delicious. So they do a traditional, but the turkey is so moist. I've had people's turkeys before, and they're terrible. They're dry. Turkey's really easy to screw up.
Absolutely.
But she just constantly injects these turkeys while she's cooking them, and I mean, they are delicious. So we always do that, and a honey ham is usually the meats. And then everybody makes macaroni for Sheila because she loves homemade macaroni. That's her Thanksgiving staple. And but you usually have green bean casserole, which is just a mix of green beans, cream of mushroom, and I've never been a big fan, but I love the little crunchy onions they put on top.
Onions.
So,
yep.
Okay. So you're all nodding about the onions, yeah.
Yeah, but in the South, I don't know about it if in the whole South, but the cornbread is a thing in the South. So down here, people call it cornbread dressing. So what Mom would do the night before, she and my sisters, or when we were younger, it was my aunts and my mom and my Nana, they would cook cornbread all night, and then they would lay bread out to stale for a day or two. Yeah. And then the night before Thanksgiving, they crumble all of the cornbread up, and it's like almost equal parts cornbread to white bread. And they would rip up all the white bread and then mix it all up. And the next day, after they would usually boil a chicken or a couple of chickens for the stock. And are you hearing that feedback? Is that me? Anyway, they would boil a couple of they would boil a couple of chickens for the stock, and they would pour that stock and dice up the liver, gizzards, make a gravy out of it, and then giblets, and they pour that over the top of the crumbled up cornbread, and it's called dressing. We call it cornbread dressing.
Makes looking a bit suspect about it.
Yeah. Well, not everybody likes
nothing was wasted then.
Yeah.
Basically.
No, nothing.
Everything was
wasted.
used up. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
And Meg, is that familiar for you as well?
Well, kind of. I mean, I do live in what we consider to be the South, but my entire family is from New York, like both sides. Mm-hmm. We do a more northern influenced Thanksgiving. So I never heard of green bean casserole until we moved here. We like blanched green beans with slivered almonds. But green bean casserole is delicious, so we're missing out. And we never did sweet potatoes, but that's a really good thing. The sweet potatoes with the marshmallows, that's kind of...
Jordan was telling me about, I was speaking to Jordan just before I logged on with you guys, and I said, what do you know about Thanksgiving? He said, I think they eat sweet potatoes with marshmallows. I said, what, really?
Yeah. They're called candied yams, which I'm like,
okay.
Yam. If it's sweet potatoes, like I wasn't until I became an adult where I was like, wait a minute, those are the same things it's a yam / sweet potato.
I mean,
you need brown sugar and a little bit of cinnamon.
Yeah.
Yes, and the marshmallows.
Yeah.
And the marshmallows.
Yeah.
And
They do good some
is
good
that
things.
served? Is that served with the savory meal with the turkey?
Yeah.
It's not a dessert.
Okay.
We don't eat it as a dessert. We eat it as part of the meal because there's so many pies.
Right, like there's no room for desserts. There's only pies, so keep that on the plate.
Okay, so how did you get on with those then, Meg?
Quite well. That was, in high school, I think I went to like someone's house and discovered this, and it was great. But yeah, Thanksgiving is always a time for families to just get together. I have very fond memories of being at the kids' table. Well, we had an older kids' table that was usually just me and a friend.
Okay.
So I don't know, got to feel exclusive and sparkling cider and
We did the kids' table too, Meg. When we were little, there was a designated kids area.
It's the best. And we had pilgrim hats out of construction paper and like it's fun times.
We got whippers if we didn't stay in the kids' area. Yeah.
Is that a tradition as well then? Is it whipping the kids if they don't behave?
Definitely, I think definitely the kids' table was, because that was the grown-ups' time to like set the nice china. At least in my grandmother's house, she'd pull out all the really nice dishes. So the kids were relegated to the crappy dishes on the card table, like off to the side. Like, you guys don't get to sit here with the china and the nice dishes.
And Jen, from how you've all described it, and they all sound relatively similar. It sounds a bit to me like what we would have as a traditional Christmas dinner. So how does that differ, or is it quite similar?
I think they're really the same in our house. We basically do the same thing, the same assortment of foods on Thanksgiving and the night before Christmas, or at some point around Christmas. Christmas dinner was never a big thing in my family, so the big eating holiday was always Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm. Okay, right.
But yeah, very similar to a Christmas dinner, I think, for the most part.
And before we came on, you were saying that frequently you have snow at Christmas time as well, don't you? So which obviously sets a scene for you. But I guess where you are down in Texas, Mike and Sheila, you don't tend to see a lot of snow.
No, you do not. We envy everybody's videos and pictures up north, but of course they're complaining about the snow. And I think the first time we went to Boston, that's when the first time we saw snow was on our way to the Grand Canyon after we got married. That wasn't real snow. Texas snow is not snow.
Right.
So I think we were in Flagstaff when we saw our first actual snowflake. But then several years later, we went to Boston, and here's this giant piles of dirty snow all over. We're like, okay, that's what they're complaining about. Yeah, that doesn't look like much fun.
And a lot
you don't want
to
catch those snowflakes on your tongue.
I know what snow's like. Trust me, we get a bit of it over here. And I believe a lot of places they have parades and that as well. So again, to you, Mike, and have you been involved in parades and that growing up as kids, or was that not a thing?
Yeah, and a lot of little towns have a Thanksgiving Day parade, but I think for the most part, we watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade on TV with the kids.
That's the famous one, yeah.
Right, and they're really good at including different regions, different areas with like marching bands, dancers, and so everybody knows someone that's marched in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade, and it can get boring. I mean, you've seen it 5 million times, but it's still a spectacle. We still get excited. We get excited about the Charlie Brown, the Great Pumpkin at Halloween, and then the Charlie Brown cartoons around Christmas and Thanksgiving.
So I guess it's a bit like us with watching the Queen's speech on Christmas Day. It's just like one of those boring things, but you just do it. So.
Right. That in itself is a tradition.
Yeah.
How boring it is.
So Meg, what about you? Have you been in any Thanksgiving parades growing up?
Kind of. Yeah, I was in marching band, in color guard. So I've definitely done some holiday parades before. Actually, one year I forgot my shoes and I had to march without them. That really sucked. But yeah, asphalt and socks is not comfortable. But
blisters. But you marched anyway, right?
I never forgot my shoes again.
What did you have to do, Meg?
I don't know. We had these stupid costumes. I mean, it was a cool idea, but they looked like clown suits. And had to march down the street on Atlantic Avenue, and I spun a rifle and.
Spun a rifle?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's
they're fake.
I have it in the closet actually, but
You've got the rifle in your closet?
Yeah.
That you spun on me at Thanksgiving?
It's like it's like twirling. So you'll have twirlers, but you've got flag spinners and you've got the rifle twirlers, right?
No. Twirling is for majorettes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I think it's for color guard. So you got a baton, you twirl that, but you do not twirl a 6-foot flagpole or a rifle. Like, you spin that shit. Like, pardon my French.
It's okay, don't worry. We expected you to swear. That's fine.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so that's taken a bit of a turn then. I wasn't expecting any armaments to be involved in Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it's solid wood, but it is a rifle. So you're not, the only way you'll kill someone is you bludgeon. Like, it will not fire.
It's funny that I had completely forgotten about that aspect of marching band and how militaristic that is. The fact that everybody's marching, you got rifles involved, fake while they may be, but yeah, they had us trained even in high school.
So these bands then, is it just how long do these parades go on for? Is it like an hour, 2 hours, or?
They can be really long.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Macy's Thanksgiving Day is
3-4 hours.
I
I know Houston will start about 8 o'clock and then it's over by noon.
Yeah, you can watch a football game, take a nap, hit the toilet, come back.
Still going.
It's only halfway through. Yeah.
Okay. Of course, yeah, because football's big, isn't it? The weekend of Thanksgiving as well. I think you have a wall-to-wall football and that, don't you, as well?
Yeah, I think normally people that don't even watch American football lay there and watch football just to let their food settle and the turkey. No.
Or get over the hangover.
Yeah, that's always a joke around Thanksgiving is the tryptophan and the turkey makes you sleepy. So everybody takes naps usually after Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
And goes on a crash diet just before Christmas.
Right. Well, I think that begins like the gluttony. It's like 2 months of just grotesque, eating and candy, and at least that's our tradition. You haven't had a successful holiday season unless you hate yourself afterward.
That is so true.
Meg's laughing as if she sort of understands what you're saying about that.
Like, you don't ever want to eat another pie or have another slice of turkey ever again until the season rolls around again.
And then the following day, you've got Black Friday, where you all rush out and just go absolutely crazy in the shops. Obviously not this year, but no, Mike, you don't participate in Black Friday?
We babysit. We watch our grandkids that night, and we let our go do their thing. We are not getting in the middle of that craziness. Yeah, Black Monday, Cyber Monday. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a lot easier.
Just do it all online.
It gets crazy. They'll bring back videos, or they'll send us videos throughout the night of people, fighting or intimidating each other over a pallet of pillows. Or
that's Greg. He'll pop up.
Yeah, Greg's huge. So, I don't know. He's braver than I am.
He's Jen's.
I can hold my own, but I'm.
Oh, I said, he's Jen's bodyguard for her shopping, right?
Yes. Yeah, he's a big boy, but he's going to meet his match on Black Friday.
Mike, you were saying about the Charlie Brown videos and that. Is that a tradition of Thanksgiving as well then, is it?
Yeah, I think it goes back to my mom's dad. He, even at 60 years old, he loved cartoons. We would all sit down and watch cartoons together. He just he loved, Warner Brother cartoon, or any cartoon, honestly. And so I had a real love for animation, and I passed that on to my kids. And every year, my sisters and I, we would get excited about, before we had VCRs or, digital recordings, if you missed Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer or, Charlie Brown's Thanksgiving, if you missed it, you missed it. And you had one opportunity. So when it came on, it was just, I can remember seeing the credits, on ABC or CBS or whoever had it, the rights to it that year. And we would just get so excited, make popcorn or make treats. Mom would make hot cocoa, and this was a weird thing that I don't think every family does, but she would make stacks of buttered toast, no Marmite, buttered toast. And
I thought Marmite would come into the conversation.
Always.
And yeah, we didn't want to ruin Thanksgiving, but she would make Marmite. I mean, damn it, she would make stacks of toast and
You're
really
obsessed
dark.
with Marmite, Mike. That's not easy to say
Y'all
either.
are killing me.
Me thinks the lady doth protest too much. I think he has a secret love for Marmite that he's not willing to share.
There is no secret love.
Funny, Sheila sent me a message asking what to get you for Christmas. So.
Yeah.
Do they have like those 5-gallon jugs of Marmite?
Oh, we can get plenty. Don't worry.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Sheila's talking about how I've got like a real emotional attachment to our family time together. But Mom would make stacks of.
I'm talking about the Charlie Brown cartoon.
Right. Well, the whole thing. Yeah. The jazz. I'm not a jazz fan, but the jazz in all the Charlie Brown cartoons, I love that jazz.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But yeah, we would just sit there and dunk our buttered toast in our hot chocolate, and you got to dunk it quick and pull it out and eat it. But that salty, sweet flavor. I mean, we ate it every year at the same time when it got cold for cold snap.
Sweet ice cream.
And we had a wood burning stove. Y'all ate ice cream at
We ate ice
Thanksgiving?
cream.
But we had a wood burning stove, and Mom would make the cocoa on top of the wood burning
Oh,
stove.
nice.
She didn't have to. We had an electric stove,
Yeah.
but it was just nice to build the fire, smell the wood. You know, we'd all gather around the TV and watch those cartoons. So I still get emotional when they come on, and I love that my sons now watch that with their grandkids.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a weird, not weird. I mean, it's a different tradition, but
Yeah.
that's our.
No, it's great. It's all part of it, isn't it? Your memories and giving new memories to your children and their
chili.
children. So Meg, will you be going home for Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I'm the only one of my siblings. I think I'm going to be the only one allowed home for Thanksgiving. Because my mom had heart
What?
June, so she's
Okay.
into the whole COVID thing. Like she
Sure.
was on a ventilator like in December
Oh, okay.
because of something heart valve related. But
Yeah.
yeah, but because I'm local and because I am like a hermit, so I'll probably be the only sibling going to my parents' house for Thanksgiving. So that'll be kind of weird.
Yeah. Would you
but,
normally
you
have
know.
any particular traditions and that in your family as to what you do for Thanksgiving?
Well, the one that I'm fond of that I've started recently is the cider mimosa.
Okay.
So I've been
I
taking
thought there'd be
like
alcohol involved.
Yeah. We anytime my family gets together, like we're afraid that there might not be enough alcohol, and then we bring enough. So, and we barely dent it, but we try.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So yeah, like a cinnamon and sugar rimmed glass. I know people do pumpkin beer up north a lot too. And then just, apple cider and champagne, or pumpkin pie is my favorite thing. And
Okay.
I've done that for the last few years.
Getting the thumbs up from Mike there.
And they get it from the store, and it's all
2
raw.
thumbs up. Yeah.
Yeah, so like proper pumpkin pie is something that's extremely important, and good mashed potatoes.
Cool. And you're all nodding in agreement then. So Jen, you like a nice pumpkin pie?
I'm not a big fan of pumpkin pies, but I'm not a fan of pies in general. I know that's
Okay.
freaky. I'll eat a slice, don't get me wrong, but yeah, for me, it's all about the bread. I could live on mashed potatoes and gravy and like hot rolls. So that's my jam. I need to have, and I like my turkey dry, and it's only because my mom is a terrible cook. So you've got to have lots of gravy too. You can have dry turkey as long as you have enough gravy to put on it, and nothing is dry except in gravy.
So it's all about the memories then, is it, of your mum's terribly dry turkey?
Pretty much, yeah. In fact, I've gone to people's houses before, like before I was married, and I took my own turkey because nobody would make it dry enough. So
Your turkey.
I'd be like, I'll cook it for like 3 hours at my house, and then I'll bring it to your house, and we'll finish it in your oven. And the thing is, the one time that I did that, everybody ate my turkey. They're like, "Oh my God, this turkey's so good!" I was like, "Get off my turkey! Like, this is the only one I can eat."
You not
So my poor kids have grown up with me like intentionally overcooking the turkey. So turkey isn't my husband's favorite thing on Thanksgiving, and I think that's why.
Do you not need like buckets of water or alcohol just to get it down your throat? Because it is a dry meat, isn't it?
That's what the gravy's for. You gotta have it. Critical that
And
you have a
sweet.
lot of gravy.
And sweet iced tea. Don't forget the sweet iced tea.
Oh my God, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. So is that a hot drink or a cold drink?
It's a
It's a
cold
cold drink.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, iced tea.
Yeah,
I grew up in the Midwest, and I think we were on the cusp of like the sweet tea versus non-sweet tea. But I think there was enough Southern influence where I grew up with sweet tea. So yeah, now I crave that super sweetness. So when I visit Mike and
There's sweet tea, and then there's molasses sweet tea.
Yeah.
right. No, and I do like the sweet tea sometimes, but I usually have to cut it. You know, it's got to be half and half because it is too sweet. I agree, Sheila. Sometimes it is.
So
It's like syrup.
what about cranberry sauce? I just learned,
Yes.
it wasn't that long ago I learned that cranberry sauce didn't come out of a can in the
It wasn't
shape
supposed to be sliced, right?
in the shape of a tube. Yeah. I saw like
that's a joke from Frasier.
program.
In an episode of Frasier, they do that as well. And I don't know if any of you used to watch Frasier.
Yeah.
And Marty was complaining about the because obviously Frasier had like posh cranberry sauce, and he's like, "Why doesn't it look like a tube?"
Why can't I slice it? Well, I remember my grandmother used to put it out on this really nice tray, like it was matched all the other china, and it was like a can-shaped slab of cranberry sauce, and everybody cut their little slice off. And
Oh no, if you really want to be fancy, you got to cut it up and then kind of display it like cards, like a deck of cards.
Right, like fanned out.
Yeah, you got to fan them out.
That's the other way to get dry turkey down is proper cranberry sauce.
Exactly. Yep.
I don't like cranberry sauce.
So we normally we'll get a brick of dressing, like a 4-inch by 4-inch brick of dressing, and then you put a round slice of cranberry sauce on top of it, kneaded together, or you put gravy on the dressing. But
okay. So I noticed, Jen, you've got your Pixies sweatshirt on, and Mike, as always, has his Pixies t-shirt on. I don't know if you, Meg, have you got your Pixies? Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
So well done. Good on you, all three of you. Well done. But what about on Thanksgiving? Do people sort of tend to dress up and that and make a bit more of an effort, or do you just go downstairs in your pajamas and your slippers and just
a sweater and yoga pants?
Yoga pants, yeah.
A sweater and yoga pants, because they look like nice pants and they go with a cute red sweater.
What about when you were younger and Granny was over and you had to impress Granny and behave yourself? Did you make more of an effort then and put a nice dress on or anything like that? So that's what I didn't used to put a dress on, but we always used to have to dress up for Christmas Day. It was always important to my mum and dad that we were smartly dressed. So is that a thing for Thanksgiving as well, or not really?
I think it kind of depends. Yeah, it depends on the family. We certainly weren't, because everybody was going to be, laying around like three-toed sloths at some point during the evening. So you wore what was comfortable. So jeans and a t-shirt, something you could unbutton, or like Meg said, sweatpants or yoga pants.
And Mike obviously would be in his Pixies t-shirt. So
yeah,
he has no other clothes.
It depended on it. Yeah. It definitely depended on the family, because like my Nana, who is the Cajun, she would expect that we had a collared shirt and we all sat down and really nice plates, and it was more of an event for her. But at my dad's family, when I was young, I mean, we were all outside with our shirts off, throwing horseshoes and playing football or basketball, after we ate, or just, you unbutton your pants and you lay there with your shirt off. And
throwing horseshoes. Tell me about that. What was that? Throwing them at each other or at a target?
Well, do you really know? Y'all don't throw horseshoes there or pitch washers? It's just a game. So you put a stick.
Is it that you got a hook? You got a hook on the wall and you got to toss it and try and get it on the hook?
No. It's outside in the yard. So you get, I think it's
Like a piece of
20 some odd feet. There's a regulation because they actually have competitions, and you drive a 1-inch metal spike in the ground, but you leave it out about 12 inches.
Yeah.
And you put one on each end, and there's 2 men or women on each end throwing against each other, and the teams are separated. So I'm throwing against Sheila, but our teammates are on the other side throwing against each other. So you're throwing it looks like a horseshoe, but it's much bigger, and it's weighted. It's got a little spot for your thumb, and you flip it end over end, and you try to ring it on the pole on the other side. Okay. So it's 5 points if you ring it. It's 2 points if you lean it, and it's 1 point if you're closer than your opponent. So Yeah, the horseshoe. You're throwing the horseshoe at the pole. So, but it goes on like that for 15 points, 21 points, whatever you
Okay.
whatever you
And is
play
that all
to.
over the States, is it? Or is that just in Texas?
I don't know. It's prominent in Texas. That and washers. We have a little box with a hole in it. Cornhole. You throw bean bags into a hole on another board. So anything to
Cornhole's
compete
huge
against one
here.
another.
So what was that, Meg?
Cornhole is huge in my city. Like, if you go to brunch and you wait outside, there's cornhole boards you can play with while you wait. Like, it's everywhere where I live. And I knew about horseshoes, but I didn't know that it was like a competition and there were thumb notches. That's news to me.
I think everything that Mike does is a competition, though, to be honest. So.
Right. Certainly it is in Texas. Everything's a competition.
True.
And Mike always wins.
No, I don't normally win. Texas is very competitive and overly proud.
Uh-huh. So Jen, you got 3 boys, and
Yeah.
so do they all stay at home, or are they allowed to go and see their mates and on Thanksgiving, or do they have to? I mean, obviously this year is different, but
Right.
ordinarily would they all just be in the house with you, or do they get to go out and meet up with their mates and things like that?
For the most part, because Thanksgiving is kind of a family holiday, I think, certainly I would encourage them to stay home or not, want to subject them on somebody else's family. But there have been times whenever, we've got a family friend who invites them over, and certainly it's not off limits, because, you've got Thanksgiving Day, which is a Thursday, and then usually people have that Friday off. So it's a 4-day weekend.
Okay.
And so it really, there have been days, or there have been years where we don't necessarily have Thanksgiving dinner on Thanksgiving Day. So it might be on Friday or it might be on Saturday. So I think that probably most families are like that. In fact, when I was a kid, when I was a teenager and we lived in California, Magic Mountain, which is in Valencia, California, between LA and Bakersfield, they were open. It's an amusement park. They were open on Thanksgiving Day, and so we would actually go to the amusement park on Thanksgiving Day because it was like the least crowded time that you could ever go.
Yeah.
And then we would have family Thanksgiving the next day. So that was a tradition for a while with my family, where we would we would spend Thanksgiving Day at Magic Mountain and go ride roller coasters.
Cool. And Mike, music then. So is Thanksgiving a day of rest from Pixies, or do you still play Pixies on Thanksgiving?
No, Thanksgiving is family time, so
No Pixies.
that means we're listening to Sheila's music.
No, we're listening to usually 70s country.
Yeah, it's something nostalgic. It's definitely not a time where I'm looking to be hyped up, or I feel absolutely no unrest or anger, or
So you're not screaming "Tame" then all throughout the day then? No.
There won't be many karaoke videos made on Thanksgiving Day. It really, we forget ourselves, we forget about work. We really blend in with the family. And
the grandkids, though, if we go to town, they want to listen to the Pixies. I don't know what y'all done to my grandkids.
Yeah.
Oh, yay!
Good man.
They're as we say in Texas, they're runt.
Yeah, exactly. Or my grandmother, roint. You roined it.
Yeah, runt.
And Mike, will you actually be taking the day off on Thanksgiving, or will you be up on that roof again?
Oh, when you said take the day off, I thought you meant from my job. No, any moment that I can work on this house, I'm a touch.
We agreed to take it off that week.
Well,
Mike, don't get in an argument with Sheila now, for God's sakes.
Oh no, I don't want to start domestic.
we had a fight last night. Let's have one right now. Oh, that was this morning, wasn't it? In 33 years, you just,
So you're going to open the can of cranberry, slop it out onto the plate, and then you'll be up on the roof after that, will you?
Yeah. I won't be able to roll over for like 2 or 3 hours after that, but I do have to burn off some calories.
That's what they're runners for.
She was reminding me about something, and you know how much I love to talk. So
that's why I asked you on it.
I wanted to see if you guys made anything like this. I know this is not the name. We call it green stuff. We've always called it green stuff, but it's a dessert, and it's made with
very similar to
lime.
Waldorf,
yeah, but it's made with marshmallow cream, pineapple juice, lime jello,
right,
and pecans.
Is
And
that
it's a
like an
gelatin.
ambrosia? Is it like an ambrosia salad? Is that kind of what you're talking about?
I think so, but like ambrosia salad has like coconut and fruit
Yeah, you're right.
in it. This has only pineapple, marshmallow cream, lime jello, and pecans, diced up pecans.
Right.
And we've always called it green stuff. We heard that it might be called something like Waldorf salad, but anyway.
No, so
when-
a Waldorf salad is walnuts, apples, and what else goes into mayonnaise, and I
Oh,
forget what else is in it, and a bit of Marmite stirred in.
oh,
Oh, double.
You
We like
guys ought to know
mayonnaise.
what a Waldorf salad is because it's named after the hotel in New York. So,
Oh,
I thought
okay.
it was a nice green salad.
yeah, it is. It is.
Jello
Yeah, it's
and
primarily
jello.
apples and walnuts and mayonnaise.
This
But
is
yeah,
kind of like the cranberry sauce.
Yeah, this is a
and you can cut it like it came out of
yeah.
a
It's
can.
made in a mold, but
Yeah.
it's delicious. But we've always called it green stuff, and we don't know we don't know the actual name.
do you guys have trifle over there?
The snack.
That's what I was thinking, but no, not really. We
So,
have
'cause I mean, it
yogurt
sounds a bit
parfaits.
like trifle, but not really. So a
I
trifle
Yeah.
over here would be like chopped up fruit, jelly, sponge fingers, and custard, and cream piped on the top.
Oh wow.
That sounds like strawberry shortcake, kind of.
Okay. Yeah. But no, we don't have green stuff. Pretty sure we don't have green stuff. That's what we used to call
I'll
the
send out the
vegetables at
recipe.
school.
Yeah, please
Hey,
do.
it's delicious. There are no vegetables in it. Well, there is a little bit of fruit, a little bit of pineapple, but it is so good. I'll send out the recipe.
It sounds like one of those things that if you see it, you're repulsed by it, but then you eat it and you realize it actually tastes good, and you
It
don't care
looks like a green and white marbled finish. You
what
know,
the
it's
Jell-O mold. Oh,
Meg,
It-
Meg, you're looking skeptical, shall we say?
Uh,
You've not
I
had green.
don't-
You've not had green stuff before.
I don't like things in molds.
yeah. It sounds like one of those 70s things, like, that they were coming up
50s.
with reasons. Yeah, exactly.
50s.
Yeah. Yeah, you're
50s.
right. Where everything was gelatin and in a mold. It's like fruit cakes and all that stuff.
Okay.
It really
Tupperware.
it sounds like an excuse to just throw a bunch of random shit together and call it some kind of
Leftovers.
special
Yeah.
food, right?
Sounds delicious.
Yeah, it's great.
Don't talk bad about my green stuff.
Send out the
As long
recipe.
as you're enjoying it, that's all that matters.
If I ever make it over to Texas, Mike, that's the first thing I'm going to ask for.
I want some green stuff.
Yeah, no one else knows what it is.
It's because it's terrible.
Yeah.
We need a recipe. We need a recipe.
It is delicious.
We'll be the judge of that. Just send out the recipe.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
It's not approved by dentists everywhere.
No.
Oh, being joined by Harley. Hello, Harley.
Oh, kitten.
Don't normally come and say hello when I'm doing these, do you? There's Harley for you.
Cat butt? Oh, are we gonna get a cat butt?
He normally just comes and actually sits on the keyboard because it's nice and warm. But thankfully he didn't. That would have been interesting. So, any films or anything that I should be watching if I want to get into the Thanksgiving spirit? Any films that you can think of that are associated with Thanksgiving? I mean, I guess all the comedy series always do a sort of a Thanksgiving episode, don't they? Sorry, Jen, carry on.
Oh, it's Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is a Thanksgiving movie that I often forget about. It's kind of sad in parts, but the John Candy and Steve Martin, where they're traveling across country, they get stuck. It's Thanksgiving and they get stuck and they have to travel back to New York or wherever they're from together. That's a fun Thanksgiving movie.
Okay. Any others that anyone can think of? Or any music, any songs or anything like that? It's not like a time for, not like Christmas where you have Christmas carols and things like that, is it? Or are there songs that are traditional to Thanksgiving?
Well, we actually start listening to Christmas music. We don't go full, well, sometimes we'll actually decorate that weekend too and put the Christmas tree up.
Okay.
Depending on how long we want to have Christmas in the house. So at least the last few years since Ed's gotten sick, we try to, maximize Christmas as much as possible because it's one of his favorite holidays. So we'll usually put the Christmas tree up and start listening to Christmas music that weekend of Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's Sheila. She gets mad at me if we don't put the Christmas tree up on that weekend. We've got till Sunday. We've got a deadline.
Right.
If I didn't put it, my job is to erect the tree.
Okay.
Can I say erect?
We just have twice.
It's to erect the tree.
That's 3 times.
And then Sheila uses that time to decorate the tree with our kids. But after they left, man, it was like, that was a depressing Sunday because, I mean, they're gone. They were her helpers and I had to help. So she was depressed because they weren't there.
You were Santa's little elf, were you?
Yeah, I was depressed because I had to help put lights and balls on. Now the granddaughters do it, and she loves having that time with them.
Nice.
So there you are with your erection, decorating it with balls. Excellent. Okay. This sounds like a conversation with Dean Young, but anyway.
I don't. Yeah. Yeah. She said I usually hang 2 balls at one time, and that's for efficiency.
Or your balls are way too close together. My sons always put the balls too close together. It's like, come on, guys. I know you're used to them in pairs, but you can spread them out a little bit.
So, Mike, dare I ask where you'll be hanging your balls this year? Because clearly you're not going to have a fully functioning home for them, are you?
Well, she's going to usually hang her balls on the lower end of the tree, and I tend to hang my balls on the high, because I get up on the ladder and I can reach.
Does she not get to decide where she hangs your balls then?
No, I hang high balls. She
hangs low.
Well, I wasn't expecting the conversation to take this turn, but anyway.
Merry Christmas.
Hey. So that's sort of Thanksgiving then is really like the introduction into the Christmas season then. So it's where you all start getting into the festive spirit. Yeah. And do you decorate your tree around Thanksgiving then as well, Meg?
No. I have a really tiny apartment, so I have it about this high, maybe 2 feet.
Yeah.
And I just put it up when I feel like it, if I think about it that year.
Sure.
Mom is also kind of reluctant to bother with the tree because, I don't know, she's just kind of sick of it. There's not enough people to help.
Okay.
Yeah, our Christmas is very lazy comparatively to everyone else's. Like, we don't do a second Christmas dinner. Like, we're just like, all right, I'll make one dish and then we'll all just like snack all day and watch Die Hard. And
okay.
Simple with it. But yeah, it's whatever.
Cool. So you get do you all get the Friday off? Is that a public holiday as well, or just you have to take that as your own holiday? Do you?
Usually it's given because
Okay.
I mean, why would you come back for like one day
day
off with drinking and eating and
sure. So
for the most part, because so many people take that Friday off. I mean, obviously, if you work in retail, you're kind of screwed. You're going to be working that day, but for the most part, a 9 to 5, Monday through Friday is going to take that Friday off.
Because you don't get a lot of holiday either, do you? I don't think in America.
No,
not really. No.
No, because here, like the minimum is generally about 21 days a year that you will start on.
Man,
like 4 weeks holiday. So you guys, you get about half that, don't you?
I think we get 7.
Wow.
Yeah, actual holidays. Well, if you're in there's bank holidays where you'll get a Monday off, but unless if you work for the government or for a bank, then you don't really get that off usually. So we don't have very many like official holidays. I think 4th of July is usually one. Oh, we lost Mike. 4th of July is usually one, and then Christmas Day and Christmas Eve, depending on where they fall in the during the week. So.
And then the same for New Year as well, is it? I guess.
It kind of depends on your job, and I think where it falls in the, if you've got if you've got New Year's Eve on a Sunday, you might take that Monday off. But I think it kind of depends on the job. But usually New Year's Day is a day that everybody takes off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jen, you think you're going to be still working from home up until the new year, probably now?
I think so. Yeah. Until we get reliable vaccines or something else dramatic happens, I think we'll be working from home for a while. So. And
the same for you as well, Meg.
I love that though.
Oh, do you? You're very happy, are you? Yeah.
I'm so happy. Yeah. This is I'm in my office again.
And the cat hasn't got fed up with you being there all the time then?
No, she gets fed up when I leave.
Oh, okay. That's unusual for cats.
What is this?
Yeah.
Harley keeps looking at us as if to say, what the bloody hell are you still doing in my house? But,
Right. Jesus, aren't you going to get out of here at some point soon?
yeah. Whereas Tilly's having the time of her life because she just gets
Constant
unbridled
attention.
attention. So, yeah. Yeah, bless her. So I'm not quite sure what's happened to Mike, but he may pop back in. I don't know. Hopefully he will do. So unless Sheila's found a job for him, maybe.
Yeah. Okay, now that you're off the call, you can get back up on the roof.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Okay. So unfortunately, would you normally have family over, Jen, as well for Thanksgiving, but you just can't this year because of COVID?
Yeah, we just my oldest son who just moved out this year, he would have probably come home, and then my daughter Emma would have driven home too, and she would usually stay a couple of days and then head back. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit different this year, and you know, we're okay with that. Whatever we've got to do to make sure everybody's safe. So
Just getting a message from Mike. So
and
Sheila,
I think
try.
I'm sorry. We're at
That's
that
okay.
weird time too, where as the kids get older, you know, they start making their own traditions. So
Yeah.
we're at that weird transitional phase where I think even without COVID, we might run into the possibility of not necessarily seeing one or many of our kids on the actual day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's me messaging.
Yeah, that was strange for me last year too. Like my parents were like, well, we're going to go do something else. We're not really doing anything at the house. So I went up to my brother and sister-in-law's, and that was, I mean, it was a lot of fun, but it was weird to not have my parents there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's interesting how those traditions evolve and how, you know, you kind of carry some of the things over into your own traditions, but then you make new ones, and it's just an ever-evolving process.
Yeah.
Okay.
Daddy.
There's Daddy. Hello, Daddy. Hey, Daddy.
Sorry, guys.
That's okay, don't worry. We got you back.
Did y'all already shut it down?
No, we're good. We're still going.
Yeah.
All right. My partner's leaving on her tractor, so.
Like, I'm out of here. Oh, that's amazing.
Where's she going?
To the front of the property to smooth some dirt out with her bucket.
Wow.
But,
that's impressive.
Oh yeah, she's definitely a country girl. She grew up that way.
Uh-huh. You got good help there. Anyway, you got the boys coming over again today?
Now they're coming over next weekend to help me with the far side of the roof, and we will have everything decked and tar paper on, which means it will be raining inside the house anymore. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, no kidding.
Cool. And you'll be decorating the Winnebago, will you, with Christmas decorations? Hanging your balls up in the Winnebago.
We'll be hanging my balls everywhere. There's not even enough room for the balls that I have in that Winnebago.
I mean, you are a man mountain, so I'm sure your balls are very big.
And red. Some are red.
I just like seeing Meg laugh. That's all.
Some of my balls have glitter on them.
You got glittery balls.
Yeah. And some even have like a little thing inside with an angel.
This is turning into South Park now, isn't it? What's it? The chocolate salty balls. Meg has completely lost it now. Again.
I'm sorry for being so ridiculous.
That's okay.
I'm pretty sure Andrew knew what he was getting into with the three of us.
Of course I did. Of course I did. I chose you three specifically. Do you know, actually, Mike, you can get cheesy Marmite balls.
Oh, you're going to need some of those.
Meg has completely lost it now. There we go.
Cheesy Marmite balls never go into my mouth.
Cheesy Marmite balls.
They will never pass my lips.
That's what she said.
Oh,
do they
perfect.
pack or in a box?
Sorry.
I would think that.
They come in a packet like chips, like crisps, as we call them over here.
In a package.
In a like a crisp packet.
Oh, a packet.
Yeah, like a cellophane packet. Yeah. Yeah. Message me with your address and I'll send you some over for Thanksgiving.
Please do. We gotta.
You can serve them up with some of your green stuff.
The green
By the
stuff
way-
and cheesy balls.
By the way, that sounds a lot like a Flint Christmas right here.
Anyway, before Meg completely loses it and gives herself a hernia, I think I will say thank you very much to all three of you guys, and I'll go around individually, and I will let you all wish your American friends and North American friends a happy Thanksgiving. So, Jen, would you like to start?
Absolutely. I hope everyone has a wonderful Thanksgiving. I know it's going to be a weird year, but thank you for everybody. And I think we've all been keeping each other afloat this year. And I just love all of you and hope you have a wonderful day with your family.
Lovely. Thank you. Your turn, Meg.
Same thing. I hope it's a great Thanksgiving. I'm hoping Anna might set up a Zoom call that day.
Yeah, that would be good.
I will be participating if that happens, or maybe I'll figure out how to set it up. But happy Thanksgiving, live you well.
And we'll leave the final word to the irrepressible Mr. Mike Flynn Jr.
Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I just want to say I am very thankful for this group. I don't think any of our lives. I don't think we would be who we are today without our contact with one another over the last several years. So I am very thankful for the people in this group and the compassion they show each other when people are down. This is a great group. But happy Thanksgiving to everyone overseas too, in Europe, Australia, New Zealand. So y'all can celebrate with us. Eat some green stuff. It's great. It's good stuff.
And some
Recipe
cheesy Marmite balls. Sorry, Jen?
I said recipe forthcoming.
Yeah, we need the recipe. Guys, have a fantastic Thanksgiving. Thank you so much to the three of you for giving up your time, and to Sheila as well. I love you guys. And
Love you too. Thank you for doing this.
catch up again with you soon, I hope. You take care. Cheers.
Bye.